I have been all over the state of Colorado, including places that most people don't even know exist. So with that, I'm going to share with you the top 10 areas to check out in the great state of Colorado. Let's get to it. All right, the first place we're going to check out here is the Upper Roaring Fork Valley. The most popular place to visit here is the town of Aspen. It's a beautiful town, whether in winter or summer, and of course, everyone has to check out the Maroon Bells. It's the most picturesque place in Colorado. You can take a car right up to the lake here, and if you're feeling really adventurous and have some experience with hiking mountains, you can attempt to climb these mountains. Although climbing the mountain can be pretty dangerous. A less challenging route would be to go around the mountains on a 4 or 3 day hiking trip called Four Pass Loop. Definitely an amazing experience. Not only that, but you can hang out in the Castle and Conundrum area, especially checking out the Conundrum Hot Springs up in the wilderness here. Also, if you're into history, there's a few really awesome ghost towns here kept up by the Aspen Historical Society, like Ashcroft or Independence. Speaking of Independence, if you take Highway 82 east of Aspen, you'll eventually reach Independence Pass. This is an awesome drive, and there'll be plenty of places to stop along the way and take in a scenic view, or you can venture a little bit off the trail and find some swimming areas, some alpine lakes, or just some neat geological features like the ice caves. Or you could venture a little farther off the path and just find some amazing alpine lakes. All right, now we got the Steamboat area. The biggest draw here is, of course, Strawberry Hot Springs. It is a awesome hot springs to visit. There are a ton of different pools to check out. It's outside in the nature. It's just fun. Another thing you can do is when the river is good is you can float down the river, and there's many companies that will help you with this. Like they'll give you a ride to a spot and drop you off and get in your tube and just float down the river. Another thing to check out here is Rabbit's Ears Pass, and here you'll find quite a bit of hiking or snowshoeing, and if you come during the autumn season, the fall colors are amazing. And north of the town of Steamboat, you'll find a ton of hiking opportunities, whether you're going to Steamboat Lake State Park or just going to the famous Fish Creek Falls. Crested Butte. This place is the wildflower capital of the world. So if you want to check out some wildflowers, this is the place to go. Usually early summer, late spring. On top of it, Crested Butte is an old mining town and has a ton of character. These colorful buildings are everywhere, and they have some weird festivals. Taylor Park is a good place to park the RV or just do some off-roading or check out some ghost towns. And going farther east, you can go over Cottonwood Pass, which is pretty neat. To the south, you got the town of Gunnison and, of course, the Gunnison River. And it's a bit of a drive. You can check out Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park, and that is an awesome-looking canyon. There's nothing else like it. Painted wall, nice, awesome. And then to the west of Crested Butte, you can go up Coal Creek over the pass there, and of course check out the fall colors, which are just awesome. All right, now we got the Glenwood Springs Crystal River area. The town of Glenwood Springs is just amazing. There are 2 hot spring resorts in the town itself, along with an amusement park and tons of restaurants and attractions there. If you want, you can go rafting down the Colorado River through the town or through the Glenwood Canyon, and of course take Interstate 70 through the Glenwood Canyon. It is one of the most beautiful stretches of interstate you will ever see. There is also the famous Hanging Lake in this canyon, and I highly suggest you check out this lake. It is unique. Around the area, you'll find some wild hot springs. Just southwest of town is a great place to check out the fall colors. And if we go into the Crystal River area, you're going to find the town of Marble, a neat, unique town. Tons of stuff to see around there, whether you're looking at the old marble quarries or checking out one of Colorado's most photographed areas, the Crystal Mill. There's also a lot of 4x4ing to do here, especially if you want to get to the mill. All right, next we got Summit County. The town to check out here is Breckenridge, and it does have an awesome main street and some cool attractions around it, but there's a lot more to the county than that. Of course, you'll find some amazing hiking just south of town and north in the Gore Range. Tons of alpine lakes, waterfalls, cool ridges, And of course, we have Quandary, which is one of the easier 14ers to do in the state of Colorado. On top of that, you'll find some cool ghost towns, whether you're looking for some tourist attraction ones near Breckenridge or some cool hikes like the Sally Barber Mine, or checking out the less known Peru Gulch. You're going to find some great places to check out the wildflowers in the early summer or check out some fall colors. Like for example, Borey's Pass is just a great place to see fall colors. You can also just hang out around Lake Dillon, and of course there is the famous Dillon Amphitheater, which hosts some great musicians. Next we have the Colorado Springs area. There is a ton to do here. Of course, everyone comes to see Garden of the Gods and Pikes Peak, America's mountain. But on top of that, you have a ton of other places. Like if you go to the Cripple Creek area, you can check out some old mines, hundreds of feet underground. Or if you go to Rampart Reservoir, there's a ton of hiking to do there. Other attractions include Cave of the Winds, Manitou Springs, fluorescent fossil beds, and that's just to name a few. But if you click up in the corner, you can see a more detailed video about this area. Next, we have the Grand Lake and Estes Park area. And the main things to see here are, of course, Rocky Mountain National Park and Indian Peaks Wilderness. Now, Rocky Mountain National Park has great hikes like Emerald Lake or awesome drives like Trail Ridge Road and plenty of opportunities to see wild animals. But the towns around them are great. Like, for example, Grand Lake has plenty of places to hang out by the lake and just chill. And, of course, some awesome hikes around there, like, for example, hiking to Lone Eagle Peak. And on the Estes Park side, you are going to find the famous Stanley Hotel. Now, if you want a little more adventure, you'll find Long's Peak, which is a somewhat difficult 14er to hike on the Estes Park side. And then in Indian Peaks Wilderness, you'll find the Brainerd Lake Basin. And this is a popular area, but it is a beautiful area. There are multiple lakes you can hike to, and they are absolutely beautiful. And for even more adventure yet, you can head farther south to the town of Nederland, and there are a ton of hiking experiences there. Check out the video in the corner if you want to see more about this area. Or go further east to see Boulder and the Flatirons. All right, next is the Grand Valley area, and this is a place that is definitely overlooked as a tourist attraction, but it is full of adventure. The base camp here would probably be like Grand Junction, and just west of that, you'll find some great mountain biking or some great views at the Colorado National Monument. Another nice place to check out would be Rattlesnake Arches, where you have the second largest grouping of arches, just being second to Arches National Park in Utah. You'll also find some really cool hiking around this area. If you want to cool down, a lot of people take trips down the Colorado or the Gunnison River, and there's some cool creeks near Delta where you can hike and cool down for a little bit. To the east, you'll find Grand Mesa, which is a little bit cooler, and there's a ton of hiking and exploring to do here. So in the Grand Valley, there's a lot of fertile soil, and because of that, you'll find some vineyards, some peach farms, some cherry farms, some apple farms, some corn farms. One of my favorite festivals in this area is the Palisade Peach Festival. Some of the best peaches in the United States are right here. All right, next is my favorite area in Colorado. It is the San Juans, and it's a big area, so I'm going to split it into the east and the west. To the east, you have places like Pagosa Springs with one of the neatest hot springs in the area. Here you'll also be able to float down the river or go on some amazing hikes that not many people go on. It's a pretty cool area. You'll also find the town of Creed, which is where they filmed the new Lone Ranger movie. And here you're going to find some unique ghost towns and waterfalls. You also have the town of Lake City, which is an awesome base camp for doing some off-roading. All right, to the west we have Durango, Telluride, Ouray, and Silverton. These places are awesome, with Telluride and Ouray kind of known as the Switzerland of the United States. Telluride is this cool canyon, and no matter where you look, you're going to see some waterfalls coming down, including the iconic Bridalveil Falls, and you're going to find a ton of hikes just right off of the main street. In Ouray, you're going to see waterfalls in every direction you look as well as some hot springs. And some of my favorite hikes in this area is Sneffels and Blue Lakes. But on top of this, you're also going to be able to drive on the $1 Million Highway, which is just full of fantastic views, and goes over to Silverton. Silverton is also an amazing base to do some off-roading or see some awesome ghost towns. Here you're also going to see places like the Ice Lake Basin and a bunch of other beautiful hikes. Stay tuned for a video just about this area. And lastly, we have the Twin Lakes area. This kind of goes from Leadville to Buena Vista, or Buena Vista as it's known to the locals, and there is a ton to see here. For example, Leadville has one of the most unique and iconic main streets in the town of Colorado. From that main street, you can see Colorado's tallest peaks. One of my favorite festivals here is Ski Joint in the winter. And just east of town, you're going to find a ton of mine ruins. They have what they call the Mineral Belt Trail. It's an awesome trail to go biking or hiking on. Of course, you can attempt to hike these mountains, like Albert is the tallest in Colorado, or Massive, the second tallest, is right next to it. And the farther south you go, you're going to find more and more 14ers that you can hike. Twin Lakes is a beautiful place to hang out. You're going to find some awesome hiking and great fall colors here. And of course, Buena Vista has these iconic views with these 14ers towering over top of it. You're going to find quite a few hot springs in this area, along with a few ghost towns and awesome hikes. All right, that does it for the best areas in Colorado. But be sure to subscribe and check out my previous videos if you're interested in the best waterfalls or the best hot springs, or just want to see something strange and different in Colorado. I've got it all, or it's coming out this year, so be sure to subscribe.